Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
T-Bone Burnett, he's back. He's doing his thing. Things that I can never do.
Oh,
but it's so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so good.
I love it. I've missed it so much. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the AFTERBUZZ True Detective After Show. My name is Julia Cearley, back here for Season 2, and I just made a new friend. We literally just met. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Katie Wilbert.
Hi. Hello, everyone. I'm Katie Wilbert.
She will be joining us here for Season 2 of True Detective. Missing in action, MIA today, are our main men, the Joes, Joe Braswell, Joe Flippo. I'm actually sitting in Braswell's spot. It feels very strange.
Does it feel nice, though, a little bit?
Maybe.
He's been usurped.
He's been usurped. For today, at least. I'll graciously give it back to him when we return next week. But, yeah, they're not here today, and they are missing out because this was quite an episode. Season 2, Episode 1, True Detective, whole new cast of players, whole new story, whole new location. Katie, my new bestie redhead.
I know.
Redheads unite.
We didn't even know.
Didn't even know.
We might be related, maybe. It's possible.
We'll trace our genealogy later. Tell me, what did you think about it?
I liked it. There was so much to stomach. And yeah, because like you said, it's a new cast and it's an entirely new location and setup. But I liked that it's got this sort of film noir vibe to it, like modern day film noir, and it's less, I think, dingy than the other season. I feel like the other season was more gritty and like dark, like really dark tones. And I think it's an interesting turn that it's not that this time around, and we're dealing more with like rich gangsters and stuff, and less in the like grits of Louisiana.
Well, remember, we're only in episode 1.
I know. There's so much room to fall.
I have a feeling there's quite a bit underneath those sleeves of of these folks here at True Detective. No, I totally agree with you. I liked that sort of that neo-noir, Los Angeles crime updated. You know, it was really cool, the music, too, how it had, like, this sort of, like, beatnik beats going, but then it would transition into this total 1920s, 30s, 40s film noir sort of music like that, which I thought was a really cool way to bridge the gap there.
And I think I noticed that particular kind of music that you're talking about in scenes that were really resonant with me, that were similar to film noir type stuff. I mean, I don't know if I want to say the moments that I'm thinking about, or if we want to just dive into it. Or
I think we will. I think we'll dive in.
Okay.
I totally dug it, personally.
Yeah.
It was hard for me at first. I had to watch this a couple of times. So the first time I had these crazy high expectations, right? Because I was such a huge, like, diehard, crazy, huge fan of Season 1.
Yeah.
But then I kind of realized that that's not really fair. Right? Like, I need to absolutely not, I had to not compare and contrast the two, because this is an anthology series, so we do have two very different stories. I feel deep down, just between you and me, and hopefully millions of people listening.
I won't tell anyone except for all of our listeners.
Except for all of them. So this is our secret, folks. I feel like it was a little overcrowded.
Yeah.
In characters. Sure. Right off the bat. Again, and I feel so bad. I mean, I'm going to get reamed for this, because I will draw similarities between this and last season, but I was so invested right off the bat with Rust Cohle and Marty Hart last season, and this season I just feel like it's a little bit all over the place. But like I said, it's only episode 1, and I'm totally into it. But I also think I feel like I miss Louisiana. I miss the foreignness of Louisiana.
That makes sense. It's different. Like, I'm from California, so it is less like you're being pulled into another world when it's someplace that you recognize. Like all of the scenes and stuff, even if it's saying it's in Vinci, like I'm like, oh, those are the the Long Beach. I was about to call them funnels, but that's not what they are.
I don't think. But we could call it funnels if you like. Industrial what, Katie?
No, I'm going to call them tubes where smoke comes out of.
The factories.
Thank you.
We'll go with that.
Oh my gosh.
I will say something that really disturbed me personally. I guess this is a spoiler alert, but if you're listening to this, you probably saw the show. So if you didn't, don't listen to this part. But where they found Casper's body, Point Magoo, that's my beach growing up.
See?
Like Ventura County, that's my home. So I feel like there's this really weird connection.
I get it.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
The next time I visit my parents and my mom says, hey, you want to go to the beach? I'm going to be like, not that beach.
Not that one, because there might be a Weekend at Bernie's thing happening.
It's totally
right?
Weekend at Bernie's.
Like, the dead body was so Weekend at Bernie's.
Yes.
I laughed when I first saw it, and that's not the reaction you should have when you see a dead body. But
not just like a nervous laugh, but like a...
Well, I think I live my life so much in the comedy world often that when I do watch dramas, it's hard for me not to take certain things to be like so funny. Like when Paul's character, one of our new characters in this season, when he's riding on his motorcycle, like his cheeks are flapping and it's so serious. He's going so fast and he's in this like dark moment and I'm just looking at his cheeks flapping like, bro.
Hey, Katie, I'm a firm believer that you have to find comedy in even the darkest of moments.
Thank you. I think you have to. Well, especially
cheeks flapping definitely apply.
True Detective. It's so dark.
It is so dark.
I have to find those moments. Otherwise, I'm like, ow, my soul. A little bit.
So I think, Katie and I were talking about how we wanted to sort of talk about this, and we couldn't really come up with a perfect answer. But what I'm thinking is that we only know what we know. So let's kind of dissect this by character. Let's start that way because that's all we know so far. We don't have too much of a timeline. We know these people. We're getting to know these people in connection with this crime. So who do you want to start out with? Do you want to start out with Ray?
Ray
Velcoro. Played by the ridiculously amazing Colin Farrell.
He's so good.
Even with that mustache, he still looks good.
It's like upsetting that he's so good, but like in the best way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
What did you think about that character?
I think from the top, him sitting in the car with his son, I think if you're going to investigate the character of any father, what a way to do it, with him letting his son go to school, learning that he's a divorcee, and then immediately after that, learning that his wife was raped and that his son may or may not actually be his, but could also be a rape baby. That's a terrible way to describe that.
That's the worst phrase I've ever
realized
heard.
that upon saying it. But I'm just going to roll with it for the moment.
We're dealing with the truth.
Yeah, and acknowledge what I've said. But yeah, I feel like that's so much heaviness to learn about a character right from the get-go, and then to see... Yeah, he's kind of a drunk, and
I feel like he's the only one thus far, episode 1, bear with us, the only one thus far where we're getting like a true understanding of his motivations as a person, as a character. So the show opens with him, right? Talking with his lawyer about a custody battle.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, the lawyer asks about his wife. They were trying to have children, and then she was brutally raped and beaten, and then 9 months later they have a baby.
Yeah.
No paternity test was ever done, but he claims a child as his own. Doesn't even care.
Yeah.
It's his kid. They spent 2 months together, he reveals as well.
Yeah.
Where is she up and left?
Yeah.
But now apparently she's back with a new boyfriend or husband. I'm not really sure. What was his name? Richard?
Probably was Richard. I feel like the stepfather is
I feel like when
Richard.
I don't know someone's name, I always call them Richard or Linda.
I think that's great. I go
Sometimes
with John
a
and
Kathy.
Sally, like the most generic names.
Sometimes I throw in a Kathy if I'm feeling crazy.
I love it.
Anyway, so then he bribes the lawyer with that cool line, what, you like to pay taxes?
it's like a wad of cash, too. Just like...
Oh, yeah, many wads of cash.
No briefcase. Just like, here, take your money, lawyer lady.
Lawyer lady. And then we jump to him in the car with his son. His son obviously is having a very rough time. He's bullied, he's depressed, he doesn't want to be in school anymore. And he says, what does he say to him? Something along the lines of, keep your head up.
Yeah, he keeps saying, not weird stuff, but just like, be proud, son.
Yeah.
Like, be brave. Be proud, be brave. I
Head
love
up.
you.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I mean, he's a sweet little fat ginger boy.
I know.
And so he's getting bullied.
Do you feel like when he said, head up, be brave, or I'm paraphrasing, obviously, that he was sort of speaking to his son and a little bit for himself?
I think so. I think deep down from his fatherhood, he's going like, I love you, son. Be brave. Like, I'm going to be brave. Like, I'm telling myself to be brave. Like, I need to be proud of me. But you too, you go and try not be bullied today.
It was a little heartbreaking.
It's sad.
Yeah.
That poor little
kid,
boy.
little Chad. That's my dad's name.
Those kids. Oh, hi, Chad. Hi, Chad, wherever you are.
Hi, Daddy. At Point McCoo Beach with dead bodies. That's where Dad is.
Yeah, that's... Be safe wherever you are.
Watch your eyeballs.
Oh, that was bad.
Oh.
But yeah, I think it was a very Mean Girls kind of moment when his ginger son gets out and is walking by, and they're like, nice sweatshirt. Like, no, really nice sweatshirt. Oh my God, your shoes match your hair. I was like, do boys really bully verbally so much?
Well, it's an epidemic in this nation of ours.
I'm surprised they weren't text bullying.
They probably were.
Text on the screen.
They probably were.
Probably
that
do.
little Aspen kid's a dick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But, he got a lesson.
He did. With brass knuckles.
Well, his dad got a big fat lesson with brass knuckles. Mm-hmm. What did you think of that scene? That was kind of a shocker.
Yeah. So, as we were mentioning, like, his son is getting bullied by this kid, Aspen, and Ray shows up to give the kid a talking to. And then when the dad goes to retrieve Aspen, you see Ray put on the brass knuckles and just beat the crap out of Aspen's dad while holding Aspen, like, not letting the kid go, and is just like, this is like, your father's doing this for you. You better learn from this. Just beats the crap out of his face.
It was awful.
Kicks him in the gut. It was hard to watch.
Yeah, it really was. And the way he spoke to Aspen, even though Aspen's a dick, still, he's 12 years old.
I think it's really interesting to see someone who's so loving and compassionate to his son to then turn around and go beat the crap out of a couple people in this episode. Like, there's...
Well, we saw two different sides to his style of parenting, right? So we see in that first scene in the car, which presumably was 2 weeks before, because of the camping trip. I do math. 2 weeks before, he's compassionate, he's loving, hold your head up, be proud, your new kicks, how are those? And then he seems to sort of lose time a little bit, and we'll backtrack and talk about what happened in the interim, of course. Mm-hmm. But then we see a complete flip side of his parenting styles, if that's what we want to call them, because we were sort of built up, I feel like, to think like he was a poor divorcee father, loved his son, and then all of a sudden he is raging.
Yeah, there's some darkness there.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, and he humiliates his son, and he terrorizes his son. He's a worse bully than Aspen ever could have possibly been. But then he turns around, it's all to defend him.
Yeah.
He's also on a lot of drugs.
Yeah. So much drug abuse.
So much
happening.
Yes. But back to our guy Ray, we do get like a little backstory about him. Not only that his poor wife was brutally raped and beaten, but we find out his connection to Vince Vaughn's character, which is Frank Semyon. Semyon? You'll tell me. I know you will. You'll tell me, Internet. I think it's Semyon.
Oh, they'll let you know.
They always do. They always do. So we find out when that little flashback, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he obviously went to Frank, and Frank tried to figure out who raped his wife. Seems like Frank took the guy that they thought was the rapist out. Or they just found him and were going to beat the crap out of him. I'm not sure.
I understood it that they just found him, gave him the information to do with as he pleased.
Okay. Yeah, they left it open-ended,
That's my...
so I wasn't sure. And then, of course, they open up they open it up to where it's like Frank says, you don't owe me anything at this point, but, like, I'll call you. So at some point we know
maybe
that...
we'll talk, maybe we won't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's basically setting it up so that we, the audience, know that at some point Ray owes Frank a favor. And I think that's a great way to blend these two characters together. And eventually every single one of them are tied together through this guy named Casper that we learn about.
Of course. And he was so genuine, Vince Vaughn, in that scene, in that flashback scene. Mm-hmm. I was like, he's not going to call on you, Colin Farrell. Like, you're cool, man. He was just doing a favor. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm also very naive, apparently, when it comes to mobsters.
Well, I think they're setting up a really interesting character for Vince Vaughn. I think, first of all, it's really nice to see him in a drama again, and it reminds me how good he is at it. And I actually think it makes him a better actor in the sense that when we see him in comedies, he's so Vince Vaughn, and his rhythm is the same in the way he speaks in every movie that he does a comedy in. And I think it's really nice to see him as something completely different. Even, like, his voice is softer, mm-hmm. and I thought, what an interesting character to create for a mobster, because he's not just evil or out for money. Like, you see he's actually a person who cares and asks, personal questions, and at least it's what it's made to seem like. And I think it's a much deeper, richer character to develop someone who has, empathy and kindness than someone who's just, like, smoking in the dark. Like,
he's like a mobster with a heart of gold.
Exactly.
But I feel like something's bubbling underneath. We saw a little, mm-hmm. little acting out, perhaps, when his man Casper didn't show up and he threw the glass.
Casper, man.
Casper. You know the thing about Casper?
There's something interesting about Casper.
Tell me, Katie.
I would love to. Actually, Casper is an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price. We are sponsored by Casper. The mattress industry has inherently forced customers into paying notoriously high markups. Casper is revolutionizing the mattress industry by cutting the cost of dealing with resellers and showrooms and passing that savings directly on to the customer. A Casper mattress provides resilience and long-lasting support, and Casper's mattresses are one of a kind, a new hybrid mattress that combines premium latex foam with memory foam.
That sounds delightful.
Doesn't it? The mattresses in general can often cost well over $1,500, but Casper mattresses cost between $500 for a twin-size mattress or $600 for an extra-large twin, $750 for a full-size, $850 for a queen-size, and $950 for a king-size mattress. But Casper understands that buying a mattress online can have consumers wondering whether or not it's possible, but buying a Casper mattress is completely risk-free. Casper offers free delivery and returns with a 100-day period. That's
a lot of sleeps.
That simple. It's so many.
That's a lot of sleeps.
It's a lot of sleeps. Statistically speaking, lying on a bed for 4 minutes in a showroom has no correlation to whether or not it's the right bed for you. And that's why Casper has turned the buying process into a risk-free experience. Casper understands the importance of trying out a mattress in, reality. And you're going to spend about a third of your life on whatever mattress you buy. It's an obsessively engineered mattress at a obsessively engineered mattress.
I want to sleep on it.
At a shockingly fair price. Just the right sink, just the right bounce. It's got two technologies, as we mentioned, latex foam and memory foam, that come together for better nights and brighter days. Get a risk-free trial and return policy. Try sleeping on a Casper for 100 days with free delivery and painless returns. Plus, it's a mattress made in America that only costs $500 for a twin-size mattress and $950 for a king-size, which is super affordable. And we're offering to everyone that is an AFTERBUZZ fan a special $50 discount using our promo code. All you have to do is go to www.casper.com/AFTERBUZZ, and then the box office breakdown. AFTERBUZZ for AFTERBUZZ, box for box office breakdown.
So if you're listening to us, use AFTERBUZZ.
Movie pleasures. Yeah.
You're not listening. You're listening to us on AFTERBUZZ.
Great. Thank you.
Use that.
Once again, this is a $50 discount just for you and only you if you use our AFTERBUZZ promo code at www.casper.com/AFTERBUZZ. Tweet us and let us know if you get one and if it's totally rocking your world.
Because I need a new mattress, so you be my test dummies, please.
Okay, sorry. We heard the name Casper, and we just had to let you know about this super exciting promo.
Well done, Katie.
Thank you.
Or shall I call you Mrs. Casper?
You could if you wanted to.
No, well, maybe. We'll think about it.
Would that make me a widow now, though?
I don't know. All right, so back to
our other characters.
Back to the case at
There's
hand.
so many. There's so many people.
Who should we go with next? What about Antigone?
Let's learn about her.
We'll call her Annie for short.
Let's do that, because Antigone is a long name.
That is a long name, but I think it's a very purposeful name.
I think so, too. The Greek tragedy.
The Greek tragedy, Antigone, as we know from English in high school. Antigone, she was one of the two sisters of the two brothers on opposite sides of the Civil War. She was buried alive in a cave, and then before she was rescued, she hanged herself, and she was all about familial duty. And
yeah, she really
all about
just
her
wanted
family.
to give her brother a proper burial, and they were like, no, you can't. And she's like, I abide by God's laws, not man's laws.
Yeah.
And then she dug her eyes out with a brooch.
Yeah, there's that connection.
There's that connection.
People losing eyeballs. Thank you for that. For real though.
Ouch. I feel like I should wear glasses, protective goggles.
Yeah, though.
So this is an interesting new. I mean, they're all new characters. I'm calling them all new, but this is an interesting character in relation to season 1 because they got a little bit of backlash last season for their lack of female characters.
Okay.
So now we have Rachel McAdams as Antigone Bezzarides? Tell me, Internet. I know you well.
We're so good with pronunciating.
What? Yeah, we are really good at it.
Wow.
But I can say Antigone, and I can say Annie. So she's yet another dark, brooding, wounded character.
Yeah. I think that's the theme with this show as a whole, both season 1 and season 2.
Sure.
I think it's interesting, though, that given the backlash they had from season 1, and I think part of it, too, was, like, not having strong female characters, and I feel like in response, they went, like, how's this for a strong female character? She's a lady cop who doesn't like men. Do you know what I mean? Like,
she has daddy issues.
It kind of feels a little like, and I'm sure that was not the thought process, but it feels a little on the nose as far as like, we really want a strong female character. Okay, how about a lady cop? Like, it is a show about detectives, granted, and I understand that, but I think there's a little bit of that too, where I'm like, I hope that she's a bit more three-dimensional than just a lady cop who doesn't like men because she's had failed relationships, because I feel like I've seen that character before. But she's such an amazing actress. I'm sure there will be so many colors to the character. And again, it's only episode 1, and we only get little snippets of each because they've crammed so many characters into the intro.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you with what you're saying with the nuance of the character. I sort of felt the same way about Ray's character, too. The dirty cop who drinks a lot, does drugs. Like, it feels a little obvious and a little bit obtuse, but I have nothing but faith that Nick Pizzolatto will write them much more in depth. But upon first viewing, you're like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
So what did we learn about her? We learned
her sister is into amateur porn.
Yeah. Hey.
That was really interesting, and the way they led into that, her like busting in. I mean, I wasn't expecting to find out that her youngest sister. Like younger,
I don't know
or
about
just
that.
Singular
we'll
sister,
call her
but
sister.
I feel like she's younger. Was in a legally. I mean, they're doing it legally with a permit. But
all adults here.
Doing porn on like a web.
Yeah, like where people subscribe and watch these women do things.
I guess it's like
themselves.
how you subscribe to us here at AfterBuzz. The only difference is
we're not naked.
Yeah,
yet. No, we're not going to get naked. So do you think that she was misusing the police's resources, that she knew her sister was there? I got that impression, that she knew her sister was there. She put this whole bust together, even though the whole thing was completely legit, but she used the police funds, the LA, or I guess it's Ventura County, police funds to sponsor this entire shakedown to no avail, just to get to her sister.
Yeah. I definitely thought that, which I kind of liked. I kind of liked that she's so intense and familial. I think now that we've talked about it, there's so much that she does have in common with Antigone. the Greek. Mm-hmm. The Greek Antigone. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And her dad is a guru?
Her dad is like this, this shaman, like spiritual leader of. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Pantisipam.
Yeah, I believe it's Pantisipam.
I think I got that one.
The Pantisipam Institute.
The Pantisipam Institute, and isn't Pantisipam? Wasn't that an ancient Greek city? Right. I feel like it was. Tell me, internet.
It sounds like a combination of Mesopotamia and the Pantheon.
So we have some Greek themes going on here.
Yeah.
So we have Pantisipam. We have Antigone. We have Athena. So I think before next week I'll brush up a little because she is a Greek goddess.
Oh, of course.
Of what?
Athena is the Greek goddess of wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Nice work. So I'm going to brush up on my Greek before next episode, I think.
Apparently we need to.
It's been a long while. We also learned about her that her mother killed herself.
Yeah.
Her mother was, I'm guessing, a failed actress, which I think will have interesting ties since we are in Los Angeles, and actresses are abounding.
Yeah, well, and it feels like it's fitting with, again, this sort of noir undertone that they've got going.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very, California noir. I'm, like, waiting for some kind of Lana Del Rey-esque
I thought you were going to do an impression. I was waiting for it.
I can.
You got something for us?
Lana Del Rey?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. What's that song she sings? Summertime Sadness?
Yeah.
I'm feeling electric tonight.
Oh, that's
down the coast going about 99. She sings so deep. It's so ridiculous. Anyways.
That was amazing.
I feel like Lana Del Rey has this neo-noir thing going on, and I feel like she's the soul sister to this show. It would not make sense for her to ever sing on it. I'm just saying I feel like there is a similarity.
Why not? I get that.
Thank you.
I get that, totally. So, Antigone, she has a dead mom, failed actress mom. She has a weird guru, shaman, culty dad, hippie dad.
Yeah.
She has a failed marriage under her belt. Speaking of her belt, was that like a stabby, knifey thing that was her belt buckle?
It looked like it. I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Girl is packing a lot of weapons,
all over the place. She is prepared at all times. And she has, she's had a string of failed, little relationships, and she's really mad at dudes.
Yeah.
She does not like men. We're assuming this is because of her daddy issues, and, she's always looking for something that she never got from her father. And she's obviously very, she's dwelling on that in her life.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's weird that she goes to her dad to be like, hey, did you hear your youngest daughter, I'm just going to say she's the youngest, is doing porn? And he's like, well, I mean, what is porn?
Free love, baby.
I feel like he's the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland who's like, who are you? And she's like, I don't freaking know anymore. You're my dad. Help me out.
Yeah.
She is like, why aren't you helping your daughter? Walks away, and he's like, I just did.
I just did.
I feel like he's
that.
so full of BS in that he's helping other people find happiness, but isn't actually fathering his own children.
But do you think he called her out a little bit when he said things like about her state of resistance, making up problems for yourself, or a false sense of entitlement that you never received?
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. I think he's even going like, sure, like maybe I'm to blame for some of this, but also at some point you have to realize that you're making your life, you're creating your existence.
Sure.
Like, I maybe could have done some stuff that screwed you up a little bit, but at the same time,
take a little responsibility.
Yeah, like, do you even like your job, or is it just that you like the drama of it? Like, and you like sticking it to the man.
She's also so righteous. And then as we saw at the casino, she's getting drunk and she's gambling. She gets kicked out. She's, flipping off the security guards. I mean, she obviously has some deep-rooted demons of her own that I look forward to uncovering.
Yeah, me too.
Also, in her very opening scene, okay, this might be a little risque, but still, her very opening scene with that dude, he's like, I didn't know you were into that. Do you like that sort of thing? She says, sometimes. I wonder what.
It sounds like they're talking about her bum.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like, I'm straight up going to bring it up. It sounds like he was like, I didn't realize
or maybe
you
like
wanted me
choking.
Could have been.
That's a thing, apparently.
It's something step
Something
up
a
from
little
what
like,
would be like
hey, girl.
normal. Yeah.
You want to talk about it first?
Yeah.
Should we have a safe word first?
She was all shitty about it.
Yeah. Totally old boy.
Oh, walked into it. I walked into that one.
All right, so I'm excited to see what comes of our good Antigone Bezzeride. But I love Rachel McAdams. She looks gorgeous as always, even though she's looking badass with that cool haircut. She's
so cool.
She is so cool.
Yeah.
And I really love her development of characters, and I have the utmost respect for her.
Me too.
And
respect. I just did a peace sign, but I meant respect.
But she better deliver, damn it.
Oh, she will.
Because I'm counting on her. Because she's the girl.
Yeah.
She's the girl.
She's got to carry it.
But we have another guy. We got another guy cop.
This guy, though.
This guy, Paul Woodrugh, played by Taylor Kitsch.
Hello.
You like that?
What? Him, his name, everything about him.
Yeah.
So that's
Is that your jam?
Anyways.
All right.
Fine.
Can you talk about him? Are you capable?
No.
Okay.
I literally just went red. It's fine.
Okay, so we'll start.
Yeah,
I'll
you go
let
for it.
Compose yourself. Taylor Kitsch is playing Paul Woodrugh. So we see him first. He's a highway patrolman on a motorcycle. I'm sure you like that too.
I do.
Okay.
All about motorcycles. Seriously, my dad races motorcycles.
Oh,
like,
cool.
my whole family is like a racing family.
Oh, he's like right up your alley.
Yes, I'm like, hello, Taylor Kitsch on your motorcycle.
All right.
It's fine.
That's your man.
Keep
Okay.
going. Anyway.
So he's a highway patrolman. He's on patrol on PCH. It looks like on Highway 1. Crazy red convertible. Of course, it's a red convertible.
Right?
Of course.
We're such girls. We're like, of course, it's a hot blonde and a red convertible.
Us redheads talking about that. She recklessly pulls out into traffic. She's all over the place. He pulls her over, and she solicits him because she has that big ankle monitor.
Yeah.
So obviously she's been in trouble many, many times. She's not allowed to leave the house. She's obviously on something.
Yeah.
Lord knows what, but she's on something. And she propositions him, like,
Yep.
I can't get in trouble again, but if you want to...
You could come back to my house.
escort me home.
Yeah.
That was my impression.
I mean, that's essentially what happened.
And then, but he is so stone-faced about the whole thing, we're sort of left to wonder, did he do it? Did he not do it? Did he do it? Did he not do it? What do you think?
I don't know, because this guy, he's very curious to me. I think that I've pegged him. I mean, I guess I'm someone who likes to jump to conclusions about characters and be like, oh, I know what kind of character you are. I feel like I do not know. I feel like the moment where his girlfriend in this episode was like saying that she wanted to sleep with him, like he goes and takes a blue pill, which I'm assuming was Viagra.
That's what we call it the blue pill, so
penis upper.
I think so.
And
did you see him when he came out of the shower?
Yeah, I did. I did see it. I noticed. But when it looks like she's starting to do her business on him, he doesn't look like he's necessarily he's got this pained, far off, distant look in his eyes, and that leads me to feel like this is not a man who is just like walking around wanting sexual favors. Like, if anything, it seemed like it was a whole thing for him to want to have sex with his girlfriend.
So I thought that too, until just now, when we're sort of talking through it, which is why we do the show, is to talk through it. So I thought the same thing, like he needs to be medicated in order to literally get it up and get the job done. But we also learn about him that he's this crazy adrenaline junkie.
Yeah.
So maybe the adrenaline of doing something that bad and accepting the offer from this girl in order to get her out of a ticket and doing something so wrong and so bad and so dangerous to the things that he holds dear, that maybe that's what got it up for him.
That's interesting.
I don't know.
Like going to have sex with his girlfriend wouldn't do it for him, so he has to take a pill. But he could have for the blonde because he knows it's something he shouldn't be doing.
Exactly.
And he gets off on that. That's interesting.
I could be very wrong too.
I don't know.
I'm wrong all the time. Not all the time. Don't tell the boys I said that.
That's really interesting.
Anyways.
I'm fascinated by this character. I think they give you so little to know about him, and he is very still in most of what he's doing in his face. So you're like, who are you?
But they
Where did you come from?
give us some fun little nuggets, right? When he's talking to his commander I don't know if that's what it is called.
his commander.
We'll call him his commander, his boss, his higher upper. I don't know. So they threw in little nuggets there, like they were talking about that she was an actress, and now the tabloids are on that mercenary work. Mm-hmm. So we all know he's a soldier. So maybe he was a soldier that was hired for a foreign army. He talks about the Black Mountain work, which is, I don't know what that is. I have no idea, but I'm assuming that's some sort of operation.
Yeah.
And then he leaves saying that we were, what does he say? We were working for America, sir. So I'm not even going to pretend to know what's happening here, but obviously he has a past. He's covered in scars. He's done mercenary work. We have a Black Mountain sort of operation. He was working for America. Maybe things went awry, which is maybe why he's so haunted and so sort of like, he's kind of dead inside a little bit, right?
Well, yeah, he seems...
They all are, I guess.
And I guess that's why my original consensus with him was like, he has to take things to be able to exist or like find pleasure in moments that people would normally easily find joy and pleasure in. And I think like even the moment when his girlfriend and him are like cuddling in bed and she's asking about his scars, he's like, no, I got that before the wars, or whatever he did in the military. And then it's like she goes to touch it and he flinches out of it and it's like, I gotta go do something, anything. She's like, why won't you ever stay the night? And he's like, I don't gotta explain my business to you. I'm gonna go on a motorcycle ride. That's my terrible impression of what's happening.
But you love him so much. I thought you would have practiced this so much more.
No, I just can't do it justice. But I feel like...
It's only episode 1.
I feel like it's his way of showing... Yeah, he like won't allow himself to have intimacy with a person. Like, he won't let someone in...
It's like he's not present.
Yeah. He's not in his body.
Yeah, he's just sort of...
Except for when someone
vacant.
touches a part of him that's been injured, and it's like he goes back to this dark place that he's like, cool, I'm going to go for a motorcycle ride and maybe almost kill myself.
Sure. It's like he's dead inside. But, they all these cops are kind of dead inside, and they're all damaged. And, I was doing a little research on this. I don't remember what one of these websites. I think it was EW. It was talking about the title of this episode, which is the Western Book of the Dead, which it's definitely riffing off of the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Sure.
So, these guys are all dead inside, and now they're navigating their way through their own afterlife, as well as the navigation of our guy, Casper. You want to talk about mattresses? No. Our guy,
Casper is an online retailer, premium.
And his journey, his journey of his afterlife, his weekend of Bernie's journey on the beach.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I do actually want to talk about Casper for a second.
Okay.
Because I obviously didn't know who the old man in the sunglasses was in the car when we first see him. We're not aware this man is Casper. And then as Frank continues to reference this man Casper, who's supposed to be here to do this business deal with him and this like Russian man Oz
as we go through our notes.
Great.
Oz something. Keep going. We'll call him O for now. Ossip.
I was so close.
You were.
Ossip. He keeps referencing this guy Casper, being like, curse you, Casper, for not being here. And by the second time we see this old man in this car, we're going, oh my gosh, that's Casper, right? Or at least that was my reaction. But when I first saw the old man in the car with sunglasses, they showed some weird, like, I thought it was an owl with a crystal on it. Apparently, in doing my research, it looks to be a mask or something. But again...
I thought it was a stuffed crow or stuffed raven.
Well,
that's what I thought.
I guess I keep going back, and I'm going to say it's going to sound like beating a dead horse, but this film noir theme, because I was like, of course they've got a guy sitting next to a bird. It's like So Maltese Falcon. Classic film noir reference.
Indeed.
But that was my immediate thought, and I thought, okay, of course this guy's important. He's sitting next to a crystallized bird of some kind. I don't know. His house was messed up.
Well, he's some sort of sexual deviant city manager now,
All of
isn't
these
he?
People just have deep, weird, twisty secrets
Do a
about
lot of
them.
people have houses like that?
I don't have dick statues.
I don't have dick statues either. But
We could invest in some to be more interesting.
No
I
one's
feel
either.
like if someone breaks into my house, they're gonna find like flowers and like I have positive messages all over like pillows and walls. It's like you can do anything if you just believe. Like my soul
Oh my
is
God,
okay.
Katie.
You walk into my house and it's like I'm trying to inspire everyone who walks through the door. Like my mailman, I'm like, have a good day. Do you want some lemonade? Like you're not gonna find anything interesting, but it would be really confusing if you walked into a house like that and then in my room in a corner you see a dick statue. I could afford to be way more interesting than I actually am at this current moment.
At least you don't have to worry about anyone burning out your eyeballs with acid. So, hey,
Knock on
there is
wood.
that. That's a positive affirmation for you right there.
I'm not going to go steal some kind of bird mask because
No.
apparently that leads to acid eyeballs.
It does. You are freaking hysterical. So we don't really learn all that much about Casper. I mean, except that he is a sexual deviant and he's into some freaky stuff. He has lots of properties. We do learn one little connection I made. There's no like actual arc there, but two things that sounded similar in regard to Casper was that his assistant or secretary, whatever she was saying that he was making a lot of trips up to Sonoma and to the Russian River, to Monterey and to the Russian River Valley, which is all in Northern California. You're a NorCal girl.
That's where I hail from.
I went to school in Northern California.
Did you?
I did. And then when Antigone is looking for Vera, and she's talking to the maids at Pantisipayum, they say they're not sure where she went, but she was working a club circuit in Sonoma.
Right.
So now we're in the same sort of general NorCal area, and the big business deal that's going on is a high-speed railway through Central California into NorCal, right?
Correct.
I'm not sure where it ends. Do you know where it ends? I don't know.
I don't. Somewhere.
Anyways, those were two things that sort of was like, bing, Russian River, bing, Sonoma.
Yeah.
All
There's
sort
going
of
to be
the same
stuff
area.
happening there.
Something's going to be happening up in Northern California. Something with that railway.
Yeah. He said it was Proposition 1, $68 billion.
$68 billion.
Yeah, and all the costs would
And there
be
would be
fronted or
overage.
something like that. Yeah.
Which means there would be a surplus of
Cost
money from the
coverage?
feds.
Yes.
So maybe I did
I
not go
thought-
to business school.
I thought that was
So-
leading towards the perfect time to open up a casino.
What?
No?
Really? Where?
Yeah. If there's like a surplus of money to then like open up a casino somewhere where you could legally open up a casino.
Okay.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Business, economics.
Yeah, not theater major folks.
That was my guess. I mean, I guess they showed a casino at one point, and my brain went like, oh, I wonder if he's going to try and purchase a casino. And then they were talking about all these coverages by the federal government, and I thought like, oh, well, that would be a good time to invest in property and a casino if the government just like has all this surplus of money.
Was that Vinci Gardens Casino? Was that Frank Semyon's casino? Because he seemed to be conducting all his business there.
Appeared like that. I don't know.
So I was under the impression, again, you'll tell me, internet.
Yeah, internet, help us.
Yeah, help us. We just watched it. Last night. I was under the impression that that's... So Vince Vaughn's character, Frank Semyon, is something of a mobster, right? And when we meet him years ago with the fresh baby face Colin Farrell's character, Ray Velcoro, I don't know. I've watched Casino many times. I watched those gangster movies.
Yeah.
They invest their money in something like that, right?
Yeah.
Their dirty blood money.
Exactly.
Right? Where's Joe Sanfilippo when we need him? He knows
Well,
about this stuff.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to be a mobster, like own a casino.
Own a casino, right? That's a
Absolutely.
perfect front.
Well,
and then
and
I feel
there's
like he
certain-
gathered all these investors to invest in this huge high-speed railway.
Well,
Maybe
the
not.
the railway is already happening. I guess
Yeah.
that's what's confusing for me. I guess I didn't understand what exactly they were investing in, just that it was the right time because Prop 1 was
passed.
creating this railway. And so
Okay.
my thought was like, oh, maybe they'll invest in another casino. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's something
Tell
I
us.
should look into. If you have the answer, let us know.
Yeah, tune into us on YouTube and on iTunes and, you know, tweet at us. And,
SoundCloud.
yeah, all of the
Another
above.
thing. Any social media
tell us what
form.
we missed, because it's so rich and it's so dense. We are
was so
bound to
much.
miss so much, and we gotta pick it all apart.
There's so many storylines, and I think it's even more complicated when you're going back and forth between each person's. Like, it's enough that you've got like 4 main characters that you're trying to explain their stories, let alone going back in the past, bringing it forward to the present. Like, it's a lot. So
It's a lot.
if there's anything you find exceptionally interesting, or you were like, oh no, I 100% know what they purchased, let us know.
Yeah,
We
break
want
it down
to
for
dig
us.
deep into this.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
I'm totally into it. Are you into it? Are you liking this
Well,
season? I mean, you
yeah.
like this first episode?
I love it. I love all the themes and undertones and things. Like, I think that's what I get really excited about in shows, when I see that there's like a clear overall image and it's all coming together. And yeah, I think it's great. And I think the characters are going to be very interesting. It's always that weird thing of starting a season, though. Like, you're never quite in love with the characters until it really gets going.
Absolutely.
But I will say, in the first season, those 2 characters together were very captivating.
Absolutely.
But it was a different kind of show in its own, in that it was kind of this like buddy love,
yeah.
like 2 character focused show about their relationship in addition to their individual characters. Whereas I feel like this show, they're all separate characters at the start, and so you don't have the same investment as you do when you already see a relationship that you want to be involved in.
Well, very, very true. And now we end the episode, though, with them all coming together.
Yes.
So Paul Woodrugh, he's the one who discovers Bernie. Casper.
It was such a weird moment. Like,
Friendly
he's driving
ghost.
so fast, almost looks like he may or may not kill himself, then is like, no, swerves into this
Stop it.
random sandy area
Mother
where he
effer.
like just happens upon this dead guy sitting at a picnic table. Like,
Perhaps it was fated to be.
it really was, because I was like, well, thank God Paul Woodrugh went riding in the middle of the night and swerved into the right corner, not hitting any rocks or anything, and stumbled upon a dead body.
Well,
But
again,
how would we
fated to
have
be.
the show if he
Exactly. It had to happen. So Woodrugh discovers the body. He calls 911. They are in Ventura County at My Beach, Point Magoo, which brings Antigone and her partner Elvis. I love the names on this show, by the way.
Yeah.
Because they are Ventura County. So they are the first on the scene to investigate, and then they have to call Colin Farrell's character, Velcoro, because he was the one already investigating the disappearance of Casper in Vinci.
And he said, like, I'm from Vinci. And they're like, what's Vinci? And he's like, a city, supposedly.
Supposedly.
I was like, such a strange thing to say. But I guess that's,
It's pretty depraved, isn't it?
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
it
I mean-
calls itself a city, but it's not really. Like, I call myself a man and a father, but am I really?
Oh,
Subtext. I don't know.
getting deep.
That's what I read from that one sentence.
But it's true. It's absolutely true. What did you think of that last moment of that sort of panning shot of each one of their faces? That sort of circular pan of like face to face to face.
It reminded me of the game Clue, because it
Cearley?
felt like they're all looking at each other like, yes, who murdered the guy? But also a little like, not just who in the world murdered him, but like, we all now have to work together. I'm suspicious of everybody. Like, the looks were just so intense that it really felt like an old school murder mystery. Like, Mr. Plum did it in the billiard room with the revolver. Like, that's what that moment felt like to me.
It was an interesting moment for me. I felt like I don't know. It didn't necessarily fit to me, that last moment, that panning shot of all 3 of them, of so pensive in the dark on the beach.
It was really intense, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely intense. I don't know. There was a little bit of a disconnect for me in that one shot, for the final shot of the very first episode. And there were some beautiful shots. I have to do a little shout out to the director, Justin Lin. God, it's got to be hard to fill the shoes of Cary Fukunaga from season 1, who directed all the episodes and just killed it. And he and Nick Pizzolatto, I just feel like they were just had this beautiful marriage of vision. And I'm hoping that Justin Lin has the same. I don't know how many of the episodes he's directing.
I don't know.
I have to look that up.
Into that.
But I don't know. There was just a little disconnect in that last very powerful moment. Like this is the moment. This is
to you. Like
yeah.
And
like,
now all the characters must look at each other so we know their stories are intertwined.
Absolutely. It was just a little odd for me.
Yeah.
Not bad. Just
odd, maybe.
Odd, I suppose.
Okay.
But that's just me, guys.
I accept
That's just one gal's
your
opinion.
observation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for accepting that, Katie.
that's okay.
That is kind of you. So what do you want to do? You want to do a little predictions?
Yeah.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Oh, it's still going.
Wow. It's so spooky.
You go for it.
Okay, predictions. This is oh no, I was about to make a really weird prediction that is not grounded in anything.
Weird.
I was about to say,
weird. Let's get weird.
Ray and Annie are at some point gonna get drunk or high together because they both have substance problems.
All right.
And I think you're right that Paul is a weird kind of like adventure fetishy kind of guy because he was in these. It sounds like he was like so black ops that maybe nothing excites him anymore because he's been through some shit. You know what I mean? Like, so I think we're going to learn, I want to see him, I want to see more of Paul. That's what I want to see.
Of course you do.
Well, okay, not just because it's Taylor Kitsch, but because they've created a really fascinating character and they did give me enough information. And I'm like, who is this creeper?
Absolutely. Oh, you're calling him a creeper. Calling your man a creeper.
Well, I mean, the sexy shoe fits.
If that tiny towel fits. I'm going to predict that that Annie's dad, Elliot, I think his name was Elliot, knows more than he's letting on about the disappearance of Vera, and there's something maybe a little dark and sinister going on. Maybe, there was that little plaque about monetary donations when he was speaking right over his shoulder, and I'm just wondering if they're sort of tied up in this whole thing with Casper somehow. I don't know. That's pretty off the wall, but who knows? I agree. I think we're gonna discover some weird kinky fetishes about Paul, and he's gonna take it to the edge.
Yeah. And I think they're gonna go to Sonoma.
I think they're going to go to NorCal. Absolutely. Do a little wine tasting. Visit the vineyards.
So lovely up there.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I also predict that Jordan, the wife of Frank, is just a badass. She's so cool, Kelly Riley. I love her so much.
She's great.
We didn't touch on her at all, and I think that she's going to get her hands a little dirty in the name of her man.
I think you're 100% right.
Let's not call it 100 because nobody knows.
Well, but I think you're 100%.
Well,
right.
thank you. So, Katie, that's our show. Where can we find you?
You can find me at Katie Wilbert on all things social media, Instagram, Twitter, my website.
Yeah, I like it. I'll find you. I'll be friends with you. Yeah, because we just met. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram with my name, Julia Cearley. It's JuliaCearley. You can also find Joe Braswell, who wasn't with us today, at Joe K. Braswell, and Joe Flippo at Joe Flippo, both on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
You.
True Detective is back with a frickin' vengeance.
I know. We're so excited to just dig into it with you guys. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So please tweet us, Instagram us, YouTube us, comment, all of the above, and we'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AFTERBUZZ TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzzTV or its owners or principals.